All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Errol Spence Jr. will neutralize Manny Pacquiao's speed and power with his timing. That's what Derrick James has to say. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Before I get into the main subject of the video, please make sure if you've not already subscribed to subscribe to the channel. Also, like the video, share the video. It goes a long way towards growing the channel, and it is greatly appreciated. So we are getting down to crunch time. We only have about 2 weeks before one of the biggest fights of the year. And that is Errol Spence Jr. versus Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Errol Spence Jr. is the WBC and the IBF welterweight champion. Manny Pacquiao is the WBA regular champion, which really isn't a major championship belt. But, you know, let's count it for this one just because, hey, man, it's a big fight. So anyway, it's a big fight because Manny Pacquiao is one of these guys, in the words of Derrick James, who was the trainer of Errol Spence Jr. and the trainer of Jermell Charlo, said that some guys are bigger than the belts, or some fights are bigger than the belts. In this particular instance, I think this is an occasion where the fight is bigger than the belts. So Manny Pacquiao may not have a world championship, but because it's Manny Pacquiao and because of his stature in the sport of boxing over the last 20 plus years, pretty much all of this century, it elevates to a very big fight, and a fight in which Errol Spence Jr. is hoping to win so that he can get the proverbial torch passed to him in as far as his star status, his name recognition, and all of that. But so there are a lot of people, just reasonably so, that in my opinion, are thinking of Manny Pacquiao as if this is the Manny Pacquiao of 2006, 2010, 2012. You know, shoot, they may be even thinking it's the same Manny Pacquiao as the one that fought Keith Thurman, but that, my friend, was 2 solid years ago. However, in doing this, they look and they're talking about the fight. You hear a lot of things about the speed of Manny Pacquiao, about the power of Manny Pacquiao, and so they're pretty much treating and talking about Manny Pacquiao as if he's in his prime. And then they ask the question of Derrick James of what is he going to do with the speed of Manny Pacquiao and the power of Manny Pacquiao. Now, Derrick James, being a reasonable person, and Errol Spence Jr. being a reasonable person, say that they have prepared for the absolute best Manny Pacquiao, that they are not betting their championships on the fact that Manny Pacquiao was older, 2 years older. He's been out of the ring 2 years, and assuming that because of his older age, I think he's 42 years old, and the potential amount of rust that will be in the ring for being out of the ring for 2 years, that he's going to be anything less than the absolute best that that he can be. So they talk about the things that they've done. Now, this is an interview that took place on Ring Digital TV, so you can go check it out over there. But he talked about the things that they've been doing to prepare for him, and a key observation was when she asked him, it's like, what are you going to do about the speed? What are you going to do about the power? Like, what's better, speed versus power? And what Derrick James said was, it's timing. And so what they did, and timing being, whether or not, you can, I'm going to answer the definition with a definition, time a punch when somebody's coming in and out, whether or not you can let your punch go right when they are exactly where they want you to be. And that neutralizes their speed, because they may get there quickly, but you get there right on time. And so he's saying that it's timing. They've been working on their timing, and their timing is going to be the difference between whatever speed gap that there is between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. And the power also, because if you have good timing, you can be right where you want to be when you want to be there, and you can be away from the large shots that are coming through. So I think that is a great answer to the question of what beats speed and timing. So how are they working on their timing? They've got some. They said they've gotten some sparring partners that move just like Manny Pacquiao. So that's been the main focus of their training is to is to perfect the timing. And that's something that is going to be really difficult with a Manny Pacquiao to time him because he's so herky-jerky in and out, and that can throw off the timing of somebody because you want to throw a jab, but he's coming in, but is he really coming in? Is he, you might want to go forward. Is he really pulling out? Those type of things. And you can tell in the past fights of Manny Pacquiao that dynamic has been very, very frustrating for people. So, but all in all, I think that Errol Spence Jr. in this fight what he needs to do is he needs to be very, very aggressive with Manny Pacquiao, making sure that he is cutting off the ring, really seeking Manny Pacquiao out and keeping Manny Pacquiao within the right zone, right spacing, so that he's not too close, he's not too far away. But in order to beat Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence Jr. is going to have to win pretty much all of the rounds, and he's going to have to win those rounds convincingly because, one of the things that you can't account for in boxing is the corruption in boxing, I think that you have to try to account for is the corruption in boxing. And one of the things that typically happens when you have a really big name fighter is that whenever the big name fighter is in the ring fighting, unless the other guy is doing something to you to really, really impress you, then that guy is going to get the decision, or is going to get the decision in that particular round. And that can repeat itself throughout the fight. And then boom, you see yourself with, even though you feel like you've won the fight, you wind up finding yourself in a loss. So, it's going to be a really interesting fight for Errol Spence Jr. I definitely believe that he just needs to continually be aggressive with Manny Pacquiao. He needs to do exactly what he said he was going to do with Manny Pacquiao, which is knock Manny Pacquiao out. Now, one thing that Errol Spence Jr. did also say in another interview was that in this fight, he really feels like he's full strength. In the second fight, or the last fight that he was in with Danny Garcia, that he really didn't feel like he was, all the way back, or he had a lot of problems in training camp that prevented him from performing at his best. And in this particular camp, he feels super, super strong. Well, I hope that is the issue, because that is the case, because he's going to need it. Manny Pacquiao is an excellent fighter. He's a wily fighter. He's still in shape, and if he is the same fighter that fought Keith Thurman, this could be a very, very good fight, especially if Errol Spence Jr. can't, like I said before, get the timing on Manny Pacquiao. But anyway, that's my take on the situation. You let me know yours in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.